Oh my God. Well, I'm here with Phil. We're checking in. Good to see you, my man. Nice gear you're
Good to
wearing.
see you, bro.
Yeah.
Good to see you there, Devin
Well,
Tracy.
thank you.
Awesome. Always my pleasure.
Well, thank you for joining us. And first things first, you're alive. You're not flooded out. You're not swamped. How did you survive?
We got an utter avoidance of bad weather. And actually, strangely enough, compared to the last 2, 3 years, we actually got a little bit of a fall. Like, as in, the temperatures went down, the humidity dropped,
Hmm.
and it was kind of nice for a few days. And it's kind of nice today. I'm not going to lie.
So no damage to your estate, to your non-mansion, which
Phew.
is technically a mansion?
Let's it's happened before. It's still early in the season, but no is the answer to your query. And like I say, man, it's still early in the season. These fucking hurricanes roll in, I think, through November these days. So it's like it sucks.
Yeah, I
And
love.
I'll leave for tour in 10 days.
Yeah, are you going to somewhere that is affected by this?
Believe it or not, there are shows. I do believe booked in Florida, but uh, man, the way that last hurricane, I forget the precise name, hit Florida
Hmm.
was Jesus Christ. I mean, like,
Well, usually isn't it all hype? Because I'm not from Florida, but usually it seems like it's going to be worse, and then it hits land, and then it sort of dies out, and they downgrade it. But that Houston one just sort of sat there, didn't it? Just dumped on people.
which I'm guessing Houston is pretty similar to New Orleans. Like, we're really like a
Yeah,
bowl.
right.
And so many different areas with lower
Hmm.
land to sea ratio. And man, when you're in that position, plus in New Orleans, they figured out a lot of the draining
Hmm.
facilities were broken. And
Yeah, they've never figured it out, have they? There's no way to
that's
beat the system.
innocuous in itself, because I think what it was the brass holder. I don't want to be wrong on this,
Okay.
but somebody stole some precious metals or some
Oh, really?
fucking shit. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Okay, scandalous. Now, how's your health leading up to this tour? How's the vocal cords? How's the body?
I feel fine, man. Feel as good as I normally do. I'm down to between 188 and 190, which is
Jesus, what is your fighting weight?
old man weight. That is fighting, but it's old man weight. I am retired, but I still know a great deal about the sport. I am a student of the sport.
How did you do this, Phil? Was this pure self motivation, or is somebody cracking the whip on you? Do you have a trainer, a nutritionist? Like, what's going on here? How did you drop this weight?
Quit drinking.
That's what it is, huh?
Eat, yeah, and eat less. Let your stomach shrink and just
Uh-huh.
fucking be more vigilant about what you're eating.
Are you?
Plus the lack of beer, because I love, don't get me wrong, I love beer and whatnot.
Mhm.
I told you I smoked pot the other day for the first time.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It was like the heaviest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. It was like
Is it a?
acidic.
Where did you get this stash from? Is it a new supplier, or did you understand what you were doing?
No, there's people. I'm a musician,
Right, you have
Devin.
connections.
There's yeah. I mean, it's around. So, by God,
You're still
that
recovering, huh?
stuff's powerful. I actually shook it off late last night. Wow, man, that's
Yeah, I'm embarrassing the
I
same way,
might
man.
be
Like,
I might be retired from that stuff.
well, you got to probably work back into it, but yeah, I think if your body gets clean, you get out of sync with all that. Like, if I have like a couple of beers, I'm tipsy as fuck. Like, it's embarrassing. Like,
One beer, two beers, I would be like beyond tipsy. I'd be like, and that's the thing about me. It's like I drink to destroy. And if I just had 2 beers,
Hmm.
it would either make me sleepy if I didn't keep on going and useless. Therefore, I would keep on going till.
Useless how?
Uh,
Useless sexually? Are you a firm believer in whiskey dick?
oh, it exists. It's real.
It's real. It's all real. It's not a conspiracy. Yeah, I'm not a
No,
whiskey dick truther. Yeah, it's
too drunk to fuck is real,
that is
man.
real.
No,
You lose your ambition.
good God.
It's a funny thing though because guys will drink to get to the point where they can fuck, but then if you drink, you cannot fuck. So it's sort of a catch-22.
Yeah, but that's like a insecurity thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's a skill set that one has to learn, but the problem is you have to learn where that happy medium buzz zone is the hard way because you got to go beyond it to be like, ooh, okay, that was too much. Or you got to figure out what your drink is and all that.
And also, there are the times that you do get smashed, plowed drunk, and everything works just fine. It might have to be the kink involved. I don't know,
Hmm. But we're
you
here
know,
to. We need to tell the kids a positive message that Phil Anselmo says say no to drugs and alcohol because he should be dead in about 1996 or seven.
one of
Uh,
the maybe even a year after
yeah.
that,
Well,
and perhaps maybe shit. Maybe I'm an unraveled mummy talking to you
from the new Tom Cruise
from
movie. Yeah. Well.
the Necronomicon raised necromancy. But to get to the point here about the finalization of boozing and
Hmm.
drugs and sex and all that shit, I say, do what thou wilt. That shall be the whole of the law.
Oh.
Booze is the law. Booze under will. And that was
Is that Corinthians?
no, that's a shambolic ripoff of some Crowley-esque horseshittery.
Okay. Well, it sounded wonderful to me.
And look at here, just to prove. Look,
Green.
Phil was drunk that last stream. Phil's fucking
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Phil, clearly what you've done is replace that Coke with something else, some secret sauce. But man, so
Sauce.
are you a happy drunk, a violent drunk? What describe your drunk version?
I am a happy ass drunk, but then again,
Hmm.
oh Lord, a little bit of vodka can make me vicious.
Oh,
Sometimes the whiskey makes you feel like you're Mike Tyson in his prime. I've felt like that before,
yeah. Do
which
do you,
I'm not.
do you do
And
the do you ever go blackout on your drinking nights?
I had, yes. Fuck yeah. What, are you talking to me? Yes, yes.
You blacked out a couple years of your life. Little known fact: I met Phil back in '97. At one of his shows, I was in the crowd. I think we made eye contact for like a probably a good 1 to 2 seconds. I was winning at a mosh pit at the time, and
I saw that picture. I saw that
yeah,
picture. Joke that that character Live Life thought he won, but you had him
I had
whooped.
him
I saw it.
because you could tell the respect of the other people in the mosh pit. They feared me. They avoided me. I looked like the Pied Piper of the freaking metalheads, just running
And
around.
you were like a whole head taller than all of them, and they were just
and
terrified, as they should be.
yeah, and
Fear the
I
room.
saw a look of respect from you. I caught it. It was unmistakable. And I think you lost your place in the song, and your bandmates were looking at you like, Phil, what's going on? Like, get back on track here. But anyway, it was a matter.
That's common. That's common anyway. But the truth of it is, I did see you.
Yes.
I remember it clear as a day.
Changed your
As
life.
a bell.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. Clear as a day. As it is outside, is what I meant. No, clear as a bell. Like
Uh-huh.
ding.
Right.
Boxing talk.
Well, there are certain people that stick out in the crowd, and I'm one of them. It's neither here nor there. I'm not bragging about it. It's just a fact.
Quit bragging about it there.
All right, now I want to ask you about the topic of the day. And first off, let's gauge your excitement level. We got a fight coming up. and you
We do.
are a fight fan. That is a known fact. Um, are you excited about this? Give me a 1 to 10.
Oh, I'm a full 9.5.
Whoa.
No, I'm a full, okay. There's always that, oh shit, an inadvertent headbutt could end
Mm-hmm.
things. Bad scoring could definitely fuck the entire night.
But
Those type of
do you think that the fight has to be a great fight for this to still mean something? Because their records and their careers, and by the way, we're talking about Triple G, which I was just looking up his name. I couldn't figure out where the third G came from, but it's his middle name, which is kind of crazy. Gennady
yeah,
Gennadievich Golovkin. It's a beautiful name. Um, and,
it is actually.
and this guy, he's new to me. Obviously, I'm not a boxing fan, but I have been researching him, and I am pretty goddamn impressed with this man. He is a stone cold assassin. And he comes from what? Kurdistan? No, not Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan.
Kazakh, Kazakhstan,
Kazakhstan.
yes.
Yeah, just a pure Russian assassin. When did you start following him, and what do you think of his game?
I think he is a come forward fighter with a lot. I'm talking maybe 300 plus amateur fights
Oh
under the
God.
belt. And coming from the Ukraine and the Russian system,
Hmm.
that is a lot of excellent work and excellent gym work, excellent ethic, excellent sparring. So because you get to spar,
Hmm.
you get to be in tournaments against the best of the best regionally. So he's got that. He's defeated everyone put in front of him. I think he's the bigger man. By an inch. It's so it says, but it looks like he's got a good. It just in general, we're talking about 160 pounders here. He is absolutely, in my opinion, the more realistic 160 pounder. And what I
Hmm.
mean by that is he is comfortable at that weight. It's
Okay.
his natural weight. It's his natural fighting weight. Whereas Saul Canelo Alvarez
Uh-huh.
has struggled in the past to make weight, but then again, he was fighting a junior middleweight, which is 154 pounds. And he's the type of guy that will murder himself to make weight
Hmm.
and then somehow magically put on 20 pounds in less than 24 hours night of fight,
Okay.
which I'm no doctor, but these guys that do that, that can't be good for you. I don't see how
No, but they're
burning down and shrinking down to all that and
hmm
only to rehydrate and eat a steak and all that stuff and
right.
beef right back up. It doesn't seem
Well, they just
good
showed us
food
this
for you.
with Connor versus Floyd. I mean, Connor was way bigger in the ring, and Floyd was just quicker and had better cardio. So,
I just watched Floyd again
uh-huh.
in some highlights. He's just a phenom, and it makes me wonder because Canelo Alvarez has faced Floyd before and lost, as all fighters have.
Hmm.
Put up a good fight. He was very young. He's still very young. He's 25 years old or 26 years old. Golovkin is 35, but
Yeah.
I'll say a young 35. Very, very fresh.
Yeah.
Has not taken a beating in the ring ever. And for a pro, like I say, very fresh still.
Right.
So, but back to Canelo. It makes me wonder if Golovkin is studying any of the little things that Floyd Mayweather did
Hmm.
to be so effective in that fight because
Doesn't he have a totally different style though? Like his strategy is
it,
so aggressive.
it is.
Hmm.
It is. However, I've also been checking out Golovkin. Now, a lot of people, myself included, would think Golovkin just moves forward and destroys.
Hmm.
Now, upon studying him, and I'm do mean Triple G here,
Hmm.
he has an educated jab, and it's a hard, thudding jab. And I'm going to tell you what, you get hit by a solid jab in
Yeah.
sparring, there is because of the horsehair and what boxing gloves are made out of,
Yeah.
boom, that is a head jarring shot that does stop you in your tracks.
Yeah.
And when Golovkin lands the jab and works the jab, it's a thing of beauty. And what he also does and how he dispatches his foes is very Mexican-like and reminds me of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.
Okay.
in this way, where he will jab, right hand, left hook to the body.
Uh-huh.
And that left hook to the body is what brings the hands down,
Yes.
saps the legs,
Okay.
and you're there. You're stuck,
Yeah.
and you're on the ropes. And then it's a matter of time.
Hmm.
One thing I can say about Canelo Alvarez and any other fighter that wants to take away the oncoming left hook, if you study each other, he damn well knows that left hook is coming to the body. You can turn your body away from the shot, elbows in tight, as a boxer should be. Elbows in tight, turn your way into the body, slip to the left hook, counter. Canelo Alvarez, very good counter puncher.
Yep.
Both guys, and this is why I love this fight here, Devin Tracy, king of all atheists. Listen to me. This is a fight where the reason why I'm excited on a 10 out of 10, to answer your mile back question, is because I could be wrong in my prediction. I could be wrong in my assessment. And that's what I love about it, because it's like it could go either way.
Yeah.
And the reason being is I think at first glance, I felt Alvarez may have the edge in hand speed. I'm not so sure now.
Well, he thinks he does.
I think
he said that. He said he's quicker and stronger, he said.
I'll say this. Canelo Alvarez is a beautiful counter puncher. He fights with great angles. His best bet, in my opinion, for the fight is to stay the fuck off the ropes, keep Gennady turning to where they can stay ring center. And then it gets a little tricky because, to me, Gennady is the rangier fighter. He's got the longer arms. He's got the longer body. And he can extend those arms and create that distance because of the thudding power.
Okay, do we know what the reach advantage is? Because he's a taller man.
I can tell you right now, and I'm on the greatest boxing website in the history of websites.
What is that, boxing.com?
It's boxrec.com.
Okay.
You can find out anything.
While you look that up, I'll give a little background to these guys. So these guys have stellar records. Gennady is, 37-0, 33 knockouts, something? Like,
correct.
Crazy. And then Canelo, who's a young guy, 27, he's rocking 49-1?
49-1-1. That's one draw in there.
Yeah.
With 34 knockouts.
And the one loss is to the greatest boxer of the generation, and he was 22 at
correct.
the time. So,
correct. And that went a good 12 rounds. But really looking back at those highlights, we both know Floyd is no puncher, so to speak. He is an accumulative guy
Yeah.
who, if he hits you enough times, uh, he could possibly get the TKO. But the thing is, he's so hard to hit,
Hmm.
and he's so tricky about the shots that he picks. And like I told you before the Conor McGregor fight,
Yeah.
it's going to be that straight right that comes out of fucking nowhere
Uh-huh.
that I can't even time watching it. It surprises me.
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah.
That's the shot that keeps other boxers honest.
Okay.
Not to mention the jab.
Well.
This means Floyd does have some power, enough so that it keeps opponents off of them.
Hmm.
Now, back to the Golovkin-Canelo fight, which is the point of contention here. I think that it's unique for GGG to be facing a guy as seasoned, who has been in with the best, a guy that can counterpunch as well as he can, a guy with the type of hand speed that he has, a guy that does have beautiful balance and throws in combination.
Yeah.
And now Golovkin, gosh, you could almost mirror that and say the same things about him. Fantastic balance, deadly power, obviously. But I think also Canelo's power is not underrated, but it's solid,
Well,
man. He can get you out of there,
yeah,
and has.
both of these guys put dudes away. And you're talking about with that Canelo loss, watching combat sports, there are losses and then there are losses. So there are losses where a guy is splayed out and just left for dead. And those are hard to come back from sort of emotionally. And you're kind of broken. You're like, oh man, this guy clowned me in front of the world.
It's in your head.
Yeah, but like, you saw the last fight with Canelo versus Amir Khan? Like,
That wasn't the last fight, but yes, I
okay.
did see that.
Right. Well, that's a loss. Like, that's a real. The man
That's a good.
kills you.
That's good night dick.
Yeah.
That's good night dick.
And Amir Khan,
And
he's a trash talking kind of guy. I kind of enjoyed him getting knocked out, actually.
Amir Khan, oh god, yeah, he's talked his way into a lot of fights that.
And he was not in his natural weight class, right? He moved up.
I saw Breedis Prescott, if that is his name, Marius. It's
Yeah,
Breedis
I saw that one too. Slapped him.
He knocked Amir Khan out really
he
early.
wobbled his legs. That was violent.
Oh, he knocked him out. Yeah, and that was early in his career. But
that was a thin guy too.
What's very interesting to me is Canelo Alvarez almost really did the perfect homework in his last fight by fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who is infamous for coming into fights overweight, oversized. Sometimes he almost weighs as much as a freaking light heavyweight or a cruiserweight fighting at 160 pounds. And it's unfair. And he's a sizable, rangy guy who has he's not on the same skill level as, say, Canelo or GGG. But the mere fact that he fought this big presence with a solid chin that hung with him for as long as he did in the fight, it's a good prep going up against a force like GGG.
Well, let me ask you something about this man, because we're talking about what appears to be a...
Which guy? Devin?
Canelo. He appears to be a white, red-headed Irishman posing as a Mexican. Are we talking hashtag fake Mexican?
No, I think he's real, but hashtag he looks almost exactly like one of my first doctors. It's like crazy. It's like one of my first
Uh-huh.
after they discharged me from back surgery. It was the guy who was meant to walk me through whilst I did physical rehab. And good, sweet
Spitting image, huh?
mother of pearl,
Yes.
mother of the clitoris.
Ah.
Uh, they look so much alike, and yeah, this guy is.
But he does have that Mexican spirit and that sort of lack of personality. Maybe that's rude to say. Maybe that it's lost in translation. But he seems just stoic to a comical level and no sense of humor to be seen. Gennadi's a little bit more
That,
colorful in the interviews.
agreed. But that's also focused, Devin.
Hmm.
That's deadly serious. Taking what you do,
Yeah.
deadly serious, because it is a sport where men die
And,
in sparring. It happens
well,
all the time.
not only that,
And
they die in their brain. I mean, I was listening to Tommy Hearns in one of these build-up shows, and he's
what a nice guy. And I can. Oh, I got to tell you a story about Tommy
okay.
Hearns
Wow.
after you're done.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
commenting on the fact my girlfriend was like, "Why is he talking like that?" And I was like, "Well, he's a boxer. He's been hitting the head a lot. Some of them talk fine, like De La Hoya is talking fine. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, he was a hell of a fighter for sure. But I just feel bad for the guy.
Yeah,
But you met him?
man, I met him.
Hmm.
I've talked to him on the phone. Yes. So, yes, I know Thomas Hearns,
Okay.
and this is good stuff. All right, one night when the great Emmanuel Stewart was still alive, we were out, me and my lady, with Emmanuel, his lady at the time,
Lady of the Night.
and Tommy
Oh
Hearns.
wow.
So I'm sitting at the end of the table with Thomas Hearns.
Please tell me you got into a bar fight with Tommy.
Yeah, what a guy to have on your side. But you know what you always thought about? You see pictures of Tommy Hearns, long and lanky.
Hmm.
He was about as tall as me, man. I expected him to be way taller.
Well, I think
But
by comparison, I mean Hagler must have been shorter and stockier.
I met Hagler too in Italy once, and he sat down and talked to me for like 2 hours. What a
Nice.
nice man.
Really?
What a dynamite guy with all of his facilities. And
Did you haggle over the bill?
what a, pardon me?
Did you haggle over the bill?
Oh, haggle over the bill? With Hagler,
Yeah.
we arm wrestled.
Okay.
No, honestly, we went to take a picture, and this is years ago, so I was drinking beer.
Hmm.
It was a day off, and it was like we were in Italy, and he was in the hotel lobby. I'm like, Jesus, look, it's fucking Tom. It's the hit. It's
Yeah.
the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler. So I'm freaking out. So I said, man, you're going to have a minute? He's like, sure. I ran upstairs, fucking jumped in the rain box, came back down, got a beer. We're talking. We took a picture later, and he made me put the beer down. So
Ah.
the man has
Well,
principles.
let me tell you.
So either way,
Okay.
back to the story.
Yeah.
All right, so we're sitting there at dinner,
Oh yeah.
and the appetizers show up, and snails were on the menu, escargot, as the French
Oh
say.
boy.
And I'm like, Tommy, have one. And he's like, oh, Phil,
Not happening.
I don't eat that shit. I don't eat that shit. I'm like, why not, man? It's awesome. It's great. And he leans in real close and he goes, come here. And I leaned in. He goes, Phil, you want to know why I don't eat them damn snails? I said, yes. And he said, because I don't eat no pussy.
I was expecting that. I, I could smell
But
that coming.
wait.
Hmm.
He says, he follows up. He goes, every morning I wake up, I say, I love you, baby, but get your ass out my face.
So he's against all
Dude,
seafood in general, sort of thing.
I almost fell out of my fucking chair.
Oh
It was
Lord. Well,
Oh,
Phil, I grew up during the period of Hagler Hearns, and yet I wasn't a boxing fan to the point where now I couldn't even tell you who won that fight. But I know the importance of the fight, and I know it was a war, which is
Hagler, third round knockout, but he did take some serious shots. He got cut right in the middle of his
oh,
forehead, and it was getting down his face and into his eyes.
okay.
But if you watch that fight, he didn't even flinch at Thomas Hearns' power shots, and he just kept trucking forward in that southpaw stance and ended things brutally. Where on the flip side,
Hmm.
I saw Thomas Hearns destroy
Uh-huh.
Roberto,
Durant.
the Lion Molester
Oh,
Duran,
correct.
in 2 rounds. Thomas
Hmm.
Hearns buzzed him all up in the first round with brutality and straight shots,
Okay.
and then took him out
Well,
cold in the
let me
second.
ask you, a fight that ends early like that, first 3 rounds, would you consider that not a good fight? Even though it's a display of excellence from one guy, because it isn't competitive and long, does that diminish the overall memory of the event?
Not if it's a good fight, not if it's give or take, or a masterful
Yeah.
performance. And a lot of people won't know this because a lot of people don't know this, but the great and recently retired 11-year reigning heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko,
The Great White Hope.
no, the great heavyweight champion
Uh-huh.
who could beat men of all colors all across the globe. It didn't matter. You're not going to beat Vladimir.
Except
So,
except for Anthony Joshua in London.
yeah, but that's a 20-year difference, and that's like fighting a mirror image of each other. And
Still knocked him down.
as we damn well know, boxing is a young man's sport,
Oh, but you say that.
and Vladimir had him hurt,
Yes, he did.
and
He did.
stayed a little too cautious as he normally does, didn't let his hands go. He could have ended that fight,
Uh,
but he didn't and paid the price. Such is boxing, such makes great wars. When both guys go down and then there's an eventual knockout
yes.
in a long competitive fight, it's memorable, it's fantastic. Same thing goes for short fights that are competitive.
Hmm.
However, getting to my point, also masterful fights where uh, Vladimir was defending his title against a guy his size in Ray Austin. Now, Ray Austin has been known or had been known to have a shaky chin. He'd been knocked out a couple times, but he was always a dangerous guy to a degree. I didn't expect Vladimir to have any problems with him, but Vladimir showed this at the time new wrinkle in his arsenal, which was to gauge his opponent in the first round by keeping that right hand cocked, but not letting it go and sizing up Ray Austin with the jab. Bing, bing, touch, touch,
Hmm.
walk him around the ring, tie up, push off, bing, bing, push, push. Second round came out. More the same, not one right hand thrown. And Vladimir got him on the ropes, still with that right hand cocked, jabbed his head back, and threw 5 consecutive left hooks, with the fifth sailing over Ray Austin's falling head.
Mm,
So he didn't throw one right hand and knock the man out with one hand. And that to me is an incredible, masterful
I
performance
hear
of
you.
the art of boxing.
Got it. Now, speaking of that left hook, I've been watching some of these Canelo highlights, and he's got a pretty glorious lead left hook. Have you seen this thing? It's quick.
Of course.
Yeah, and I mean, it's powerful. And doesn't it put you in danger, though, like for all sorts of counters? I mean, you got to take all sorts of risks. But these guys, they both have good chins. Who do you think has the better chin? Have either of them been floored in their careers?
I know that Triple G has not. Matter of fact, I don't think he's even been hurt.
Yeah, and actually,
And as far as Canelo goes, I can't recall, but I don't think so. And man, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
right.
But
I
if he has been down, it's been brief and it was inconsequential
right.
because he obviously won the fight. Mayweather didn't drop him,
But
so.
doesn't that help? I mean, these guys are offensive juggernauts, but to be that, you have to have that sort of armor. You got to have that confidence that you're not going to get, drop dead on whatever counter shots are coming your way. And the one thing that,
Well, also you have to be in elite shape because
uh
if you're in great shape, you can take a shot better, and also your balance has to be fantastic. That's a whole lot of what your casual boxing fan doesn't realize is footwork, balance, lower body, hip movement.
hmm
Okay, now this makes me think about this GGG Canelo Alvarez fight where I'm not sure that Triple G has faced a guy that can move at the waist as slickly and
nimble.
with method
hmm
as Canelo Alvarez can, and he does throw beautiful combinations off the ropes. He can let you. We're going to see a whole lot of tactical stuff, I think, early because they're both elite fighters, and that tends to happen.
And
Um,
I think part of the
as
story
it,
is great is that the toughness level on both these guys is unquestionable. Like the Mexicans, like they've proven it time and time again. I was watching some footage of Triple G. He went to Dodger Stadium, and it tripped me out because I was watching Mexican fans come up to him, ask for his autograph, and get pictures with him in Dodger Stadium, which is like it's like Mexico City over there, and they respect this guy. Like he's huge in Mexico. So,
because he fights in a Mexican fashion, like I
hmm
say, like the great Julio Cesar Chavez. It's the body shots.
yeah,
It's the body shots that paralyze. But guess who else has a good body shot? Canelo
yeah, they both do.
Alvarez. But this makes me think about being comfortable at weights.
hmm
But it also makes me think of, gosh, two different
Uh
things.
huh.
On Triple G's end, when he gets a guy buzzed and hurt, he does have the tendency to square up his body and throw wide
Yes.
shots.
Yes.
Where if you do that against Canelo Alvarez, he can come up the middle,
Yeah, I could see that.
which is very important. If you're throwing wide shots like this,
hmm
to come up the middle and shoot up the middle or stick the jab out and bang, straight right hand, slip out of there.
hmm
It's very important for Canelo. Once again, I said it already, but to stay off the ropes and stay out of that corner. And the way to do that is to jab your way out of the corner, slip the ensuing left hook, keep that right hand tucked because you know that left hook is coming. Jab your way out of the corner, slip and spin him
Uh-huh.
physically and take that couple steps back, but circle immediately once you get to the center of the ring because ring generalship
Yeah.
is the thing. And both guys are great ring generals. Now, on Canelo Alvarez's weaknesses, I remember Triple G, when he gets a guy in trouble, he squares up. That's a weakness, so to speak. Now, one thing that Canelo Alvarez
uh-huh.
does is like the great Gil Clancy, rest in peace, used to say about Evander Holyfield, is when sometimes he lets those beautiful combinations go he'll stand there. And what the great Gil Clancy would say is he's waiting for the receipt, meaning he's waiting to see what or how much damage he has inferred on his opponent instead of resetting, reloading, getting a different angle, and continuing the attack. And gosh, this makes it so interesting because Triple G has that will in his eyes. He has that confidence that he's not going to be hurt by a single shot.
Yeah. Oh, let me jump in because when I've seen his highlights, he'll go on to these offensive attacks. He'll get in the pocket, and he's a great boxer. He's slick. He's got the combos. He's got the strategy. But when push comes to shove, he's willing to brawl a dude in there, and like he'll throw and he'll get hit, but he's like, look, we could stand toe to toe, and I think my punches are going to hurt you more than yours are going to hurt me. And he's proven it every time he's done it. So like, he has a nasty dog in him. It's that sort of Kazakh Mongolian comes from nothing. Like I'll fucking go to war. I'll kill you in here. He's got that look in his eye.
Well, a lot of these guys did come from nothing. Thinking back to the Klitschko brothers living in this tiny little apartment in the Ukraine, they smuggled in a can of Coke and opened it up and smelled it. And they looked at each other and they said, "That's what America smells like." That's like, they're from hard places and hard times.
Let me. I have a question I want to ask you. It's embarrassing for me to ask, but I've always wondered it, and I'm going to ask a boxing expert because, sometimes I'm watching a fight and I wonder why the fight is going the way it is. So you have two guys, you got two weapons, you got a left and a right. Okay, it's not that complicated. The point of the fight is to inflict more damage on your opponent than is inflicted upon you. You're trying to hurt the man, but you'll see. So usually one guy throws punches, the other guy throws punches back. But then there will come a time in the fight where one guy throws unanswered punches, just a bunch, uncorks a bunch, and the other guy shells up in pure defense. Now, sometimes it's done just to let the guy burn out, like Floyd will do to you or Muhammad Ali, or other times it's just they lack the cardio or are just hurt or don't have the will. Why can't they pull the trigger? Why would you let a guy hit you 15 times in a row? It seems like a simple question, but I'm interested to hear your take on that.
Devin, I will sit there and watch a fight and see similar things, and I'm like constantly screaming at the television. You don't have to stand there and take this. You don't need to stand there and try and parry off the elbows and the gloves. If you're not going to fire back, move out of the way. So I'm thinking that either the shots are affecting them, and they are desperate for a respite,
to recover,
a second win, so to speak. But I do think it's a terrible habit that a lot of fighters sadly employ that, is very tough to describe. And it does make you scratch your head and go, why are they doing this? What's the point of this? Why get hit when you don't fucking need to? Evander Holyfield, iron chin, man. Iron fucking chin. He used to drive me crazy with that shit because I'm just thinking he had so much trust in his training preparation, in his knowledge that he's been hit by the hardest punchers at the cruiserweight division. And believe me, when Evander Holyfield came up and had to fight Dwight Braxton, later Dwight Muhammad Qawi, that dude could punch a hole through a brick wall. And Evander Holyfield stood there and took every shot and fired back. And that was a young Evander Holyfield. It was a thing that he consistently carried with him through his career until he started, these heavyweights started getting bigger and he started facing, case in point, Riddick Bowe. I was at that first fight in Vegas, and Bowe was just too big, too skilled, and his punches eventually, look, there is such a thing as an accumulation of shots.
I mean,
now, getting back to the Triple G Canelo Alvarez fight, the thought has crossed my mind that Saul Alvarez could possibly prove to be too slick and frustrate Triple G and land the counter shots. And because Alvarez can punch, eventually, if he lands enough hard shots and he does go to the body, and he does, it's not just the left hook to the body. Sometimes you brought up the lead left hook.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times that lead left hook is followed by a short dip and a whipping right hand to the body.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I love.
It's like if GGG squares up, or if Alvarez gets into an angle to where it makes GGG square up, like Mike Tyson used to do against opponents. Tyson would just shift, and there he was, perfect, ding, uppercut. And that's one thing that Alvarez does. He throws the bolo shot, which, bing, he'll go to the body and boom, bring it upstairs with the same hand.
Well,
but you know who else throws a beautiful double shot?
Who's that?
It's goddamn Triple G.
Gennady.
And he does it with the right hand as well.
Like it.
He will jab a good stiff jab, which, damn it, to this minute, it still baffles me how, because I guess I'm so used to seeing Triple G destroy his opposition. You don't think of him having a great jab. He does. Let's not even fool ourselves. He has a great, powerful jab that sets everything up. If he were to jab and miss with that right hand, because Alvarez has that slippery style, and Alvarez were to come underneath enough times, is Gennady Golovkin, I guess the question would be, is would Canelo's body shots eventually start stinging Triple G enough to where his hands were brought down?
Okay, well, but Gennady's going to be prepared for this.
I see that once again, that's body type as well. It's almost like if you're fighting a guy that is in great shape and knows your style and knows what to expect and can take it to the body, it's not necessarily going to work the way I just explained it. It's not going to make him bring his hands down.
Well,
he's going to basically what I like to call walk through fire.
Yeah, well, but it's also the element of surprise, because these guys have seen every fight from the other guy. They know all their tendencies. So the question is, what's new that they're going to do that they're not going to expect?
It could be the surprise of the one shot that does
damage.
damage.
Yeah. Well, you were comparing Canelo and his work inside into the body to Tyson, but what I've been hearing from Max Kellerman and others is comparing Triple G to Tyson and the aura that this man has because of the knockout streak, because of his perfect record, and just this fear that his opponents have.
Quit listening to Max. He he once told me, I don't know how to throw a left hook. It just feels weird. So you know what he is? He's a guy who knows names,
Uh-huh.
dates, and this and that, and has never stepped in the ring in his life, never taken a real punch. So I don't really put too much stock
Okay.
into what he's saying. Although he's a good observer at the sport.
Sure.
If you've never been in there, then you really sometimes the shit that comes out of his mouth. I wonder if like the fighter that is also calling the broadcast, like Andre Ward or Roy Jones Jr., is just sitting there grabbing the microphone, rolling
Yeah,
their eyes, going, "What does this goddamn guy know about this fighting
I hear
business?"
you.
So, honestly, um, this is such a tough fight
Hmm.
to
But
call. And
we're talking
my
about.
thing is
Go
this:
ahead.
both guys have it all.
I know.
They've got every fucking tool in the
Hmm.
toolbox. I just think that Canelo Alvarez, first and foremost, you brought up this aura.
Yeah.
He's not going to be intimidated by the aura. He's been in with Mayweather.
Sure.
He's been in huge fight situations since HBO picked up his contract and elevated him to this
Hmm.
status before he was even noteworthy, really. But in this case, like, oh God, just recapping the last weekend's worth of boxing on how much they talked about how great and how pound for pound great Chocolatito Lopez or whatever his name
Uh-huh.
is. I always thought it was overrated, and you're gonna hate me for this, but the same way I kind of feel like they're pushing
Hmm.
Lomachenko way too early to really know that much about Lomachenko.
Ah.
Yes, the skill set's there. Yes, all that's there, but has he been in a real fight?
Yes, but
There's already one loss on his
okay.
record.
But Phil, they
So,
said that about all those guys. They said that about
yeah,
Triple
because
G and Canelo.
they're selling a
Yeah, of
product.
course. Well, I'd like to mention this body attack because it really is the man's game, and I feel, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but for boxing aficionados, they love a good body shot because the headshots, the layman can appreciate the headshot. You see some guy's neck snap back, sweat flies off the face. It's like something out of a Rocky movie. But a body shot, you don't quite know the damage. Only the two guys in the ring know the impact of that shot truly. You could say, well, he got him kind of square there, but I love, and these guys have knocked out multiple opponents with body shots. And the body shot knockout is something special where it's a delayed reaction, bang to the body, 2 seconds later, the guy crumbles in pain. And it's demoralizing. It's like the headshot is like, okay, your equilibrium was fucked and your brain sort of shut down, or your jaw, you got sort of, they press the magic button on you. But that body shot is like your internal organs are being ruptured and fucked with.
You're correct. And here's another thing. You know why it's demoralizing? It's because when you get hit in the body like that,
Hmm.
and you're not knocked out in
Yeah.
the mind wants to still react. The mind wants
Ah.
the legs to work.
Okay.
The mind wants the body to get up. But the bottom half of your body will not
Right.
cooperate with what the brain wants to do.
So
And a body shot can hurt from a good liver shot. That will take it feels like being kicked in the balls and having both of your shins smashed
yeah.
with a crowbar.
Well,
It fucks you up, man.
I think that a body shot is more devastating than a headshot. For example, in the UFC, if a guy goes down from a body shot, the fight's over. I've never seen a guy recover from a body shot. Like,
Because there's no defense left. You are stuck
but you're
dead
still
where you are, and you are a sitting
right.
fucking duck.
But like you could get a standing 8 count. It's going to take way longer than that to recover. Meanwhile, a flash knockdown or even a true sort of quick knockout, you can get up and get your senses about you, and your body is not in total failure. So,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Did you see Conor McGregor hurt Mayweather to the body
Well,
and the referee step in the middle of him and talk for about 15 seconds?
boxers always pull their shorts up really high, but yeah, I don't think that was a groin shot, was it?
I thought it was right in the belly, and
Yeah,
it
I thought it,
looked real to
I thought it
me.
was legit. I know. In fact, I was listening to, I think, who was it? Who's that guy from New York who runs?
It was legit.
It was
I'm
legit.
telling you right now.
The guy was one sports announcer was saying, "Man, I thought he was hurt. I was ready for Connor to swarm him and end it. It was beautiful."
Referee sure wasn't having it, huh?
No, but here's what's interesting about this body work, because you have these skilled guys and they're throwing jabs, they're doing crosses and hooks and all, countering. It's all glorious, the sweet science. But then all of a sudden, in the midst of a combo, Gennady will just pivot, focus, grit his teeth, and focus his entire life's energy and power onto destroying your liver. And it's kind of a spectacular thing to behold, because you're worried about getting punched in your face, you're dipping and diving, and next thing you know, oh shit, I forgot about my flank. And it's just thudding power. And one shot can be a game changer. And both guys have that power.
And that's why I wonder. They both know about the body work that each can inflict.
Mm-hmm.
And we would both be utterly crazed to think that they would not try and employ their strengths, both of them. So to go to the body uh, for both guys is imperative. It's part of their game. It's what they do. Now, I think that Canelo Alvarez is a compact guy, and a compact guy with his chin down, like say Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
is a very tough guy to hit, and also normally, pardon me, has a good chin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think both guys do have good chins. I'm not sure Golovkin has been tested in the pros with a very solid shot
Uh-huh.
that I mean he like it was stated earlier, and it's a truth. I don't think he's even been buzzed really in a fight to the point to where someone could say, "Oh my God, he's hurt."
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
can't.
Well, and you
You
say
know,
you say it's a young man's sport, and he is older now, but he looks in great shape and as confident as ever. And it's that whole
I'm not putting any stock in that at all. I don't think age is going to be a factor at
okay,
all.
but it's also experience. Now, Canelo's got a ton of experience, and he's in that sweet spot of youth and experience. So he's bringing that to the table, although he is the underdog. What is he, about a 150 minus 150 favorite is Gennady.
You're the gambler. I don't know what that means,
Oh,
but if
okay.
he's the underdog,
Slight, yeah, slight favorite is Triple G.
if he's the underdog, it's because of size.
Now let me.
And
I want.
and I think that like I say,
Uh-huh.
because of Canelo's fluctuation in weight, and he's the type of guy who always kind of demands, and I think this is because of the Golden Boy, the De La Hoya hookup,
Uh-huh.
and trend, I guess, of catch weight fights. He's that type of guy that always wants this catch weight fight because he can't be too light or too heavy. He needs this in between type weight. So I think people see that as a weakness. And perhaps it is
Uh-huh.
because he's really facing a true 160 pounder who is comfortable as fuck at the weight,
Yeah.
who is a destroyer at the weight. Uh, but this also leads me to I believe it was the Daniel Jacobs fight. I don't want to get the guy's name wrong. And I'm Daniel Jacobs.
Okay.
Very slick fighter. Very good boxer. Underrated boxer. A lot of people thought maybe he won the fight. I did not, but I thought it was close. It was a good showing. And also I thought it was imperative, as I do any boxer, to go that full 12 tough rounds. I really do. I think it's a plus to do that. So having done that and having that fight be so close, I think first of all we're looking at a couple different styles here. Daniel Jacobs is a little bit more long and lanky compared to Canelo Alvarez, who is, once again, compact and honestly short-armed. I don't know the reach difference, but I'm betting 10-1 that his arms are shorter than Golovkin's reach from the armpit to fist.
Okay.
So, it's a hand speed thing. It's a timing thing. It's an upper body movement thing. I think that Golovkin is more prone to standing in the pocket, taking the shot because he's so fucking confident.
Yeah.
And he's even said after certain fights that this guy, I forget the opponent, but this guy came to box. I knew that boxing necessarily wasn't working for me, so I turned it into a street fight and ended it. That's that mean streak right there.
Yeah.
But you do that against Canelo Alvarez, and you are squaring yourself up, throwing wide shots.
You're entering his world. You might not want to do that.
Yeah, correct. Oh, wonderful, wonderful way to put it. Because unless he's got Canelo Alvarez buzzed and
he smells blood
on shaky legs or something like that, or hurt. Buzzed means hurt.
Yeah.
For the uneducated out there,
of course.
Or you could say he's on Queer Street.
Oh God, not PC.
Correct. So, not that there's anything right with that.
Nothing
but
at all.
No, nothing. Not a damn thing. But if he's on Queer Street, he'll be wearing a feather boa, and I think if Canelo Alvarez does get hurt, I think that Golovkin will walk through fire to get that knockout.
Yeah, he is vicious like that. But
it's a matter of that one shot catching.
Well, you talk about body type, and Canelo is the stockier guy, and he's probably out. He has a smaller reach, and you're talking about this glorious jab.
Hand speed and compactness.
Oh no, he's got definite attributes, and he knows how to work with his frame, and he's taken on guys who are bigger than him. But you'd think that this jab, because the jab is the basis of boxing, right? It's the foundation. And we were talking and hyping up the body work, which is always puts a smile on the most seasoned boxing fan's face. But it's not the sexy shot, it's not the hook, it's not the straight shot, it's not the uppercut. But that jab, it is underrated. And for most people who've never been punched in the face, a jab is a punch. To say a jab makes it sound like it's just a touch or just a poke or a pawing out gesture with the arm. No, it's a straight shot. These are power jabs half the time.
Yes, and I will say that in that department, looking at body size, looking at frames and length in the two guys, it's going to take impeccable timing on Canelo's part to be effective
Yeah.
trading jabs with
But
Golovkin, because if Golovkin extends and
yeah.
at the same time as Canelo extends, it's going to be Golovkin who lands
Well,
maybe quicker
uh-huh.
and definitely harder, stiffer,
But Canelo sometimes doesn't even start with the jab. He'll just come in with straight power. Like
which might throw off Golovkin to a certain degree.
like
Because after he does do that, he can reset and box beautifully and go straight back to the jab.
uh-huh.
Another thing I'd like to say with your referencing the jab, not only is it a punch, it sets everything else up, because what the jab does, it also used effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And if you double up the jab and get comfortable and in that zone and you find that range
Mm-hmm.
to where you can double up on the jab, then it blinds you for the oncoming shot, the next shot. So you're already occupied getting hit by this jab.
Yeah.
Where that next punch, the right hand, we're talking about two orthodox guys who jab with the left.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Is someone knocking at my door?
Uh-oh.
Right. Give me 1 second, Devin.
Get the shotgun. This is interesting. It's discussing the strategy of the different punches and understanding the nuances of the game. I think the UFC is more primal in the sense that there's a ton of strategy in that too, but in terms of striking, it's not as advanced. It's there's many other aspects to it, but the punches have more, I don't know, deadly impact. Look at Phil. Phil's got his dogs chasing him around.
You see the beasts?
No, they're under the range. You could lift one up. Where's Tinkles? Oh, those beasts.
Tinkle, here, Tinkles.
Get over here.
None of them are named Tinkles, so they're like,
For the record.
they're what? Who the fuck is Tinkles? Look at that.
Hell yeah. I know you're rocking it, man. I appreciate it. Oh. Stomach tats. What is that? Oh, Tupac couldn't do that. Unscarred. And yet he has scars.
Unscarred by trials. Yeah, I don't know
You're
what
living
I
a
was
lie.
thinking.
You're a liar, Phil.
Boy, is that a lie. Look at this forehead. I look like fucking Abdullah the Butcher.
All right, now we're talking jabs. I want to get back to a punch that I've seen Triple G throw, which I want to ask you about the physics on this thing. I've seen him knock at least a couple guys out with it. It's a left looping over. It comes from above. He punches you in the top of your head downward over. It's like an overhand left hook. It's incredible, and he generates power off of it. And I don't understand it, but you could see the ripple effect. People just melt after receiving it.
You ready for this? That is a Ukrainian Russian system thing.
What is that? Bolo punch or something?
Well, like Vladimir Klitschko, who I would highly think that Golovkin has studied with that jab. He'll set you up with the straight jab, sure, get you kind of used to it, and then beautifully, while that jab is extending, he'll turn his hips, bing, like, you got me in the shot?
Yep.
You make yourself small. You don't want to be squared up and fighting. You make yourself small.
Yeah.
Send that jab, beautiful like that, and then, damn, my childbearing hips aren't in the shot. But bing, bing, and you turn that shot, and it's a pivot on the feet. You don't lift. I can't stand when people lift their heel up and twist their toe.
Okay.
That's total off balance bullshit. You watch Bernard Hopkins, he does it beautifully. It's a straight left shift with the hips, bing. So he can turn, bing, like that and slip out of the way. But another thing he does is he brings a chopping right hand down over that shot that comes down and over.
It's crazy.
Because a guy is going to be slipping out of the way, trying desperately to slip a shot, but whilst they're bending, he'll time.
He anticipates that, and he's there.
And it comes off as a chopping right hand. Instead of shooting it straight, it'll come off, bam, like that, where he will catch you right on the top of the head. And another thing is,
kill shot.
A lot of guys will try and turn away from his shots. And when they do that, they do get caught in the back of the head, but it's not illegal. I mean, it's a back of the head shot is illegal, but not in the heat of fire and battle. Because if you're turning away from a shot and Triple G's still throwing, he's gonna keep fucking throwing until the shit's done, and he will catch you at the brainstem. And that, my friend, is a pulverizing shot.
It's game over.
So, yeah, and man, I think I came into this knowing that you and I were going to talk about it like about a week ago, and I was like, I think if a gun were held to my head and I had to make a prediction, I would say Canelo by points.
Whoa.
But
going against
now,
Gennady, 37-0.
After just a brief study of it, and this is why, once again, it's great. I could be wrong. Triple G could just land that magic shot that Canelo Alvarez has never been hit with before.
Well,
and that is all right. When you hit a man, that has been hit before, hard, and they have walked through it, and it's a. They feel like they've been through it before, but this time, when you hit them and they feel it, a lot of times, most times, the game plan goes out the window, and he can come up the middle with all the shots he wants, because I've seen Canelo Alvarez land a good stiff jab, hook off the jab, and just out of habit, try and come up the middle with that right uppercut and have it miss completely. But that was his combination in mind, and it didn't work that time. So I've seen it happen to where he's come up short because he's so compact. It's like, to me, if really, oh man.
You're on the fence.
Once again, I wanted to say Canelo totally had the edge in hand speed, but I'm not so sure now.
I could see that edge, but I just think that Gennady's got this bravado and this swagger and confidence where he has just been mowing through people. I mean, he doesn't just beat people, he's knocking them out, which is kind of rare for this division. Am I correct? I mean...
No, you in the past.
But his knockout ratio is...
Great 160 pounders could get you out of there.
Okay.
That kind of went out the window with Bernard Hopkins, who's just a difficult guy to fight. Very, very so ring savvy and just he's a phenom. So it's like, my God, he's a very hard man to fight.
Okay. I have a question for you.
But in the past, like Marvin Hagler, John the Beast Mugabe, guys I could get into, they would knock you fucking cold out.
Okay. Well,
at 160.
Well, not me, but yeah, I heard what you're saying.
But of course not.
No.
You won the mosh pit. I
run that shit. Okay, well, let me ask you this, because as a guy who's never gotten in the ring and sparred and boxed, you have, and I want to ask you, what does it feel like like psychologically to get hit with a stiff jab. So you're in there, you know you're boxing, you expect to be hit, but you're sitting there, you, you didn't react, you didn't get out of the way, and then bang, a man just punched you in your face. Like, does part of you think, motherfucker just hit me in my face? Like, do you ever?
Yes.
You do, and you feel like you want to get it back and just be like, could it not trigger you into making some tactical mistakes? Because
Yes.
it could. Okay, because in the UFC it happens with leg kicks. It's leg kicks are almost similar to a jab because a guy can throw a leg kick and you can't react. It's not enough time. It happens so quick, and all you can do is take it. And some dudes
Ugh.
will try to kick you back, but really you got to just be like, damn it, this guy just assaulted me in public, and I just took it. And like it's just like awkward. It's like, damn, what am I gonna do now? Tell me about that feeling. What is it like to get jabbed in the face?
It sucks. It sucks because number one, not all of them hurt equally. Some can be a wake up call to you, like I'm not doing enough, or fuck, I'm doing everything I possibly can not to get hit, and I got tricked into it. I walked right into that shot. I got fooled. And then there's other times to where it's so stiff
Mhm.
that it can break your nose,
Okay.
which has happened on many occasions. And once your nose snaps, your eyes water,
Mhm.
but you can't quit. You gotta hang in there so you keep solid as possible. And you want to retaliate, but there's a big part of you knowing that once those hands come out,
Yeah.
you're giving your opponent a great chance because you're open. You're wide open. You're giving a great counter puncher a great chance because you're opening
I.
up. And
Yeah.
so it's like I think that both of these guys, GGG, Triple G,
Mm. Triple
and
X.
Saul Alvarez,
Uh huh.
Canelo, Redhead Alvarez.
Fake Mexican.
They're both so freaking schooled. They're both so adept at figuring the other guy out. It makes me wonder two things. It makes me wonder, do they throw caution to the wind and say, okay, fuck it, we're going to fight right off the bat,
Mm.
which does not bode well for Canelo necessarily at all. But then again, it also makes me think that both guys are at such an elite level.
Mhm.
We could be looking at about 3 rounds of feeling out process, distance, checking each other's distance, what the other guy's doing, what the other guy has in mind. Because in boxing, once you're at this particular level, it's the confidence is through the roof
Yeah.
in your own game plan. Now, Canelo, I think, despite having his own power and the ability to knock people out or stop people through acclamation of punches, I mean, let's take the Amir Khan straight up one punch knockout out of the equation because
Mhm.
Amir Khan, his chin is made of China, and that's a fact.
Okay.
So if he gets hit squared, he's going to drop and go. I'm taking that out of the equation because I just don't see that happening to Triple G. I think Triple G would take that shot. It might buzz him,
Mm.
and then things could get interesting because he has not been buzzed before. I think for Canelo to be very effective, he needs to be tip top mentally. He needs to have his game plan really mixed up to where he needs to attack, back off, let Triple G come to him sometimes, and prove to Triple G, you're not going to get me on the ropes. And if you do, I've got something for you.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, who's going to have more fans there? It's in Vegas, closer to Mexico, but Triple G's.
The Mexicans. The Mexicans are rabid fight fans,
Okay.
passionate fight fans, and they always have always rallied behind their fighters.
Mm-hmm.
1,000,000%. But don't get me wrong, Golovkin will have fans there too. So,
okay, it'll be a.
But I will say it should be a
fair
big
split.
Mexican tournament.
Okay, and what about in terms of rematch? Is that a potentiality here, or is that at this level not realistic?
Imagine the fight going the entire distance and have it being a close fight to where even your most biased boxing fan is scratching his head. Wow, this could go either way. And because it's in Vegas,
controversial decision.
Because Oscar de la Hoya is part of the promotion, and he knows all the referees and wines and dines them.
Okay.
Yeah, all that shit comes into play.
Okay.
If it does, say they give Canelo Alvarez a decision in a fight that easily could have been a draw.
Yeah.
That in that case,
they demand it.
I would say, yeah, the demand for the rematch would be way too much for both guys to pass up on and too lucrative.
Okay.
But also, the same can be said if it goes to Triple G and Canelo shows himself really well, and it's a toss up on who really won that, because there's close rounds now.
Yeah, but I'm not naive
though. The worst thing to me about boxing is this: is when one guy dominates for 2 minutes with basic boxing, sticking that jab in, landing the jab, whacking away at the body, and then in the last 30 seconds, the other guy comes on and lands 2 good shots that catch the eye of the ref, and they give that guy that round.
Yeah.
Based on those 2 shots and not the whole 2 minutes of work beforehand.
Well,
where the guy who loses the round actually landed more punches.
Exactly. Well, boxing judging is the worst part of the sport. It's probably the worst part of UFC.
And so is listening to the commentators. Oh. I think they're terrible. I think I don't know who's worse, HBO or Showtime. But
you don't turn the volume down. You can't.
I talk over them. I scream at them, and most of the time I'll make a call, and then 20 seconds later, Jim Lampley will say the same thing. I mean, it's a thing in this house to where I think they're bugging my house and getting info.
Well, I predict that shit too. Every round that starts, I predict they're going to punch each other, and it always happens. And it's like, dude, I never get the credit or respect I deserve. Now, but you're not a Lampley guy, are you?
No, I like Jim. Jim's a very nice man.
Okay.
I could say something, but I won't.
Okay.
But he's a very, very nice man. I'll tell you in private.
Then please do. What is your personal tradition for a match of this nature? Do you have a couple buddies, or is it? I mean, your girlfriend can't be all about this. So is it just you and the dogs?
Oh yeah. He's a big boxing fan.
Oh, okay. So do you have a party, or do you like to kind of make it more intimate, you and your big screen kind of thing?
To me, this kind of fight, I don't mind who's around. Matter of fact, my house might be packed to the gills. Shit, I might be on tour.
Oh shit, cancel that. Laryngitis.
And no, I will hold up a gig and I've done it before for football games or all right. To me, here it is. If it's the heavyweight championship, that's a national holiday.
Yeah, it's not happening.
And right now, because the belts are splintered to a degree, Anthony Joshua holds the lion's share of belts. But now I tell you what, if and when this fight happens, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, that is a very interesting fucking fight, but that's for a different day, a different podcast.
Well,
but my Lord, I've got many, many, many thoughts going into that fight.
Let me make a prediction. Deontay Wilder is a black man.
He is as black as a black fellow.
Okay.
And he's from America, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I don't know why. I don't know why you don't hear way more about this dude. He is 37-0 with 36 knockouts,
yeah,
undefeated
against a bunch of tomato cans.
That's what you say. But I tell you what, to get up for every one of those fights is a tough thing to do, man. Tomato can or not. Put it this way. When a dominant boxer gets rid of a tomato can early, that's exactly what he's supposed to do.
Okay.
If he sits there and languishes for 10 rounds with some guy that's clearly out of his league, that's when you know you might have a guy who has other issues. Boxing's not his prime focus, this, that, the other, or he's seen too much success. I think Deontay Wilder is starving for
big time. He's ready.
Yeah. And you know what? Aside from one little outburst of
what did he do?
Bullshit, trash talk, or whatever at the time. He's a great interview. Yeah. He's a great interview. He's a classy interview. He's fun. He's got a big smile on his face. He's a very likable man.
I'll look him up.
As well as Anthony Joshua. But I just think that...
And he has an accent.
Anthony's excellent, but I don't think he's seen... if you want to have this conversation, we can.
Oh, no, we'll stick to Triple G here because I want to get you on record. You know, we're going to talk after the fight and check back in and discuss and analyze and see where you were wrong and right. But go on record right now. Let's hear the short version of who wins, Triple G or Canelo Alvarez. What round and how?
You're going to hate me. But
this is
my gut tells me excellent fight. I think the styles really mesh for a very entertaining fight for the public. And I think due to the combination punching, oh God!
Tie.
I keep having that haunting Gil Clancy. He's waiting for the receipt because I'm gonna tell you what: if he does get up a beautiful counter or combination and stands there,
Canelo,
Triple G's gonna be coming with something.
Yeah.
Whether it be a right hook, whether it be a straight shot, or that left turned over straight bing left hook that he does have. And if that motherfucker lands on the button, then we got a way different fight on our hands. Damn it. All right. Getting back to the prediction.
All right. Point blank. Who you got?
Point blank. Canelo by points.
Wow.
And
wow.
I will say it very well could be highly disputed.
Okay.
I think it will call for a rematch. And I am going to hammer the point home that I love this fight so much for one reason only. I could be 100%
Yeah,
wrong.
and
And that is a rarity.
the
Normally I can size a fight up and go, I got this.
yeah.
But man, this is one where I see flaws in both guys. I see skill in both guys.
Well,
And
I don't think anybody would be surprised.
smashing, colliding together, it's like,
Yeah,
oh man.
like if Canelo goes out there and gets his ass kicked, and just Triple G walks through him and just devastates him, you can't be that surprised because he does that to everybody. But then again, Canelo is on a friggin' streak of his own. 49 wins. That's 49 grown men who are training. They're supremely gifted athletes, champions, and he's knocking them out. So,
Well, let me see here. Since his loss
mm-hmm.
to Floyd Mayweather Jr., he's fought a very tough but limitedly skilled, but this guy's very tough and walks through fire and can punch, Alfredo
Oh, he
Angulo,
fucked him up. He stopped him.
and
Yeah.
he stopped him in 10, which he should have because Angulo had seen better days. He's fought Arislandi Lara, and in that fight, I'll be honest with you, that fight could have gone either way.
Okay.
Lara's an excellent boxer, difficult boxer. I do believe he comes from the Cuban school of boxing, which is the highest. It's like what's the best college?
Yeah,
Harvard or
Oxford. Yeah. Oh, well, in America.
Oxford?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Oxford School of Boxing,
Okay.
man. It's like fucking Jesus Christ, the Cuban style. So that fight, I mean, that's another tough fight that Alvarez has come through. And okay, they gave him the victory there. Did he win it outright? That's a tough call. He destroyed James Kirkland, who I think is
Black man.
a very confused individual.
Power puncher.
Rough and rugged guy.
Yeah.
Dangerous puncher, but
He's
very
he
vulnerable.
splayed him out. Knockout.
Miguel Cotto, he beat in a decision, and Miguel Cotto was a much older fighter.
Right. And that was
knocked out Amir Khan, beat a very upright, stiff Liam Smith, and then he fought the big, strong,
Julio.
tough Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and that went the distance. But that's another good distance fight against a bigger, way bigger opponent, thickness, body density, bone density style. And then looking at GGG's record, that Daniel Jacobs fight that he just fought, everyone's really freaking out about it because it went the distance. Like I say, Daniel Jacobs is way underrated as far as your average fan goes. Daniel Jacobs can box with the best of them. I still think Triple G won the decision, but that is still a wonderful thing to get those 12 rounds in for a fighter. It's great.
Sure.
But then the fight before that, he fought little, and I do say, and I mean little, Kell Brook, where, hey, honey, the Kell Brook is, I think, started out as a natural welterweight, 147 pounds, and should have stayed there because he's a slick, damn good fighter, and I think that really his management ruined him by putting him in against Triple G, or Triple G, because Triple G just was so much bigger than him. Did have a little bit of difficulty with Kell Brook's style, but there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's a great barometer, I guess, on how to fight a super slick, skilled guy and break him down.
Yeah, you're not going to turn every guy into a highlight reel because these guys are the best of the best, and there's a lot on the line. So
But still, it is a highlight reel thing because breaking down Kell Brook, honestly, a smaller guy, but still going into that fight, I gave Kell Brook all the chance in the world on skill alone, and that did not save him. Golovkin crushed him, and it was power that beat him. It was those body shots, those relentless 1-2 bing left hooks to the body
vicious.
that got him, and then it took away his legs, and he just beat him until he beat him enough, and then the corner threw in the towel, rightfully so,
Yeah.
because Kell Brook did not belong in that fight regardless.
Okay.
So they were basically trying to save Kell Brook's career. So it's so crazy because both guys have fought the type of opposition they are supposed to fight in order to be ready for one another. That if I'm wrong, then
well, I think that a lot of the fans out there, they are happy that the fight's happening at all because, like you say, they've had good careers, but this is going to be a career-defining fight for both of them. And
I think the winner of the fight has got to be considered in the top 3 in the world.
Yeah, it's not like they're done. I mean, each guy, the loser's going to go on, and he's going to rebound. So they have huge fan bases, and the money is there, the interest is there. So it's going to be exciting future for both of them, regardless.
You hear
what's that?
That was Cheryl.
Oh, right. Beautiful.
Cheryl, you want to come say hello? Come here, Cheryl.
Get a little FaceTime.
All right, here we go. She's born with corpse paint.
Oh.
Unmatched evil since 2001. She's 16.
Beautiful. I love it.
Shirley? I'm
not sure what the emotion is that she's expressing right there. Look at her. Beautiful.
Got the other pups here, too. There's Kronk. Kronk! Come say hello.
Man's best friend.
Can you say atheism is unstoppable? And look at Willow.
Tongue twister.
She might be able to, but you never know.
Oh, that is sweet. Well, Phil,
awesome conversation there, Devin.
Phil, it's awesome. I'm looking forward to this. I think the Conor fight sort of got people like me interested in boxing, and honestly, these guys are new to me, but shit, it's been like, damn, where was I? These guys have been racking up numbers and putting on sort of incredible performances, and I've just been watching the UFC the whole time. So,
Clint, but listen, man, on that Conor McGregor fight,
yeah,
I've heard every theory in the book that Floyd didn't train. I don't buy that. Floyd carried him. I don't buy that either. I think by the end of the first round, I was like, this motherfucking little McGregor he has done his studying. He's did his homework, and there were some things that bothered Floyd Mayweather in that fight that I don't think other boxers necessarily capitalized on. And
yeah,
when it comes to the stoppage, but back to tactics, the fact that what I found amazing was Conor letting that jab float out there and then sticking it. That's an old trick. Matter of fact, like if I was going to spar somebody tomorrow, I might stick a couple solid jabs and then give them a half feint, bam, and then stick again. Always works because they fall for the initial, here it comes, and then reset, and then there's the chin. So boom, it extends. But McGregor was doing that with his right hand too. Or did he come in southpaw?
He would switch stances. Yeah, he's kind of
I
yeah.
didn't like that too much, but I mean,
That's what he does in UFC.
because
But
when
yeah.
you cross your legs, you're off balance, and
Well,
he is nimble and athletic enough to get away with it. So
well,
let it be,
I think
as Mother Mary did say.
yeah,
But uh, he surprised me
good. Well,
with his game
no,
plan in that
he
fight. He
played well.
really did.
But the thing is, the story of that fight for me was Connor just doesn't have the cardio. I mean, he trains for 15-minute fights, 25 max, but even at 25-minute fights, he's not known for his cardio in those. So what happens in the fight with Floyd? After 25 minutes, he fades, gets tired, and then gets beaten up. That's it. And the thing about this Triple G Canelo fight, you and I didn't talk about cardio once because we assume both of them are totally set to go 12 rounds at a high pace. So cardio,
They all,
that's what boxers are. That they're glorified marathon runners who punch you while they're running a marathon. Like that's cardio and boxing are like fucking hand in hand. There's a reason why.
th-
What's that?
there's a reason. Yeah, I agree, Crom. But
Well said.
yeah, he's succinct. But there's a different type of cardio
Yeah, it's
when you're standing upright all night long, as opposed to
yeah.
when you're on the mat and you're positioning. Of course, you're expending energy and all that stuff,
Mhm.
but you're still flat on the mat.
Yeah,
There is that
but
moment in time where you can take a breather, readjust,
mhm.
twist up.
But also 12 rounds is way longer for starters, and also it's 12 rounds of you also getting hit and expending energy. So you're throwing more punches per minute.
In the stomach a lot of
Yep,
times.
you're getting hit way more and you're throwing way more, and it's for longer time. So it's not just one of those things; it's all of those things combined. And the UFC fighter is just not. Even if he tried, and I'm sure he trained, a lot, it's not the same as 30 years, 40 years of doing this. You know,
But he was also fighting the best
yeah,
fighter
there's that too.
pound for pound in boxing. And
Yeah,
anyone who doesn't think that he put up a good showing is completely
well,
wrong. And anyone who thinks Mayweather was not having moments of difficulty in figuring out
hmm
just how slick Conor McGregor was, I did not expect to see Conor McGregor, his subtle head movement.
hmm
He saw the right hand coming.
yeah, yeah,
He saw it early
he's good.
in that fight, and he avoided it. It was interesting. Another interesting thing was how aware he was of where he was in the ring.
Mm,
He kept it in a circle. He
hmm
kept it at ring center as much as possible.
Yeah,
And not until he gassed,
right.
which once you gas, your game plan really goes out the window, and it's like, oh, fuck, I am beat.
Yeah,
And let me just do the best I can as I'm gasping for
but
breath.
that's
You know,
that's the thing with a gassed guy. It doesn't matter who you are. You're just a gassed person. You're just an
and
exhausted man.
your game plan goes awry.
Yeah, it's like asking, what is it like to see the best chess player in the world, Magnus Carlsen? What's he like when he's drunk? It's the answer is he's just a drunk guy. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter how good he is at whatever he's doing. It's once you're tired, you're tired, and it's a shame because it's not really a fight at that point. It's more like a long distance run, and it's
Or let him stay up a week on meth
mhm.
and then try and do it.
Yeah. The way I phrased it was watching that fight was like watching Usain Bolt race Lance Armstrong in a bike race, and he was winning for the first 10 miles, and then just got tired and lost. So
Well, I honestly, as a guy who watches styles and the intricacies of the whole thing, like bizarre mad scientist.
Hmm.
Man, McGregor was doing some really good work in there. He studied Mayweather, and god damn, he had him so timed out sometimes that when Mayweather would go to commit with that right hand, McGregor would immediately come up the middle with an uppercut.
Counter
And
uppercut. Yeah.
it's yeah, man, and that was a very smart thing. And I could see Floyd back off and go, "Damn."
Hmm.
I mean, I could read his body language, like, "Whoa, this motherfucker."
And also,
It was ready for me, and I think he lost the first couple
oh
rounds.
yeah, easily,
I do.
easily. What about the line? You never got me down. Who's that?
That, my friend, was the raging bull,
Bobby D.
Jake LaMotta.
Right. And he never got Connor down. And that's again a little feather in the cap. Nobody knew what was going to happen. He could have gone out there and plastered him in the first round. But never.
No, he couldn't have, because Connor had that focus in his eyes, the dead focus. I am looking at you. I am studying you. I know you. I've done my homework.
Yeah.
Here's my game plan. And guess what? It was working. It was
Yeah.
befuddling Mayweather for a little while.
But a guy who's never boxed in his life, he
Amazing.
carried himself well,
Amazing.
represented his country, his sport, himself, earned a bunch of money, didn't get knocked out, put on won rounds off the best boxer ever. I mean, it's like there's a lot of wins for Conor McGregor. I'm not worried about him.
Dude, I can't say enough about his performance. I mean,
I'd like to get him in there with Paulie Malignaggi. Let's see him knock his ass out. I'd love to see that.
Would be interesting, man. Malignaggi can't break an egg.
Yeah, he'd get his ass kicked, but
very nice guy. I don't know what their feud was about. Because
he got his ass kicked in sparring. That's what the feud's about. He's got an ego. He's a little, where's he from? Brooklyn or?
Yeah, he's a New Yorker.
But these guys, these ex-boxers, they're all punch drunk, and they still got it. Their whole reputation, their identity is on their fighting prowess. So if you insult them on that, and you're some non-boxer, and then there's video footage of you getting knocked out by a non-boxer, I mean, this is like, it hurts the ego. He has too much pride.
Malignaggi, his day in general was always
Yeah, it was never impressive.
His youth is now gone.
Correct.
So,
hey, is there anybody on the undercard that I should be aware of, or that you are aware of?
I don't know what the fucking undercard is.
Okay.
I really don't. And normally on a De La Hoya card, it's a bunch of
his up and coming
small
and
round victories or some shit like that. Or if we luck out, they might end up being good fights. But I don't know anything about the freaking undercard. I can find out in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Because there might be a fight.
Give it a click.
That I will. I'm gonna click it up.
And now let me ask you about your little side project, your little music band that you have. What is it called?
Which one?
Runtera, I believe is the name. No, I'm not sure, but you are going on tour. Are you going to be unloading
Super Joint?
Super Joint. Are you going to be unveiling some new romantic ballads, like a power ballad or something like that, upon your audience? Break them off with the new stuff, Phil. Don't just play your hits.
Oh.
Take some chances out there.
That would be like.
No, here's.
You ready for this?
Yeah, let me hear it.
That would be like Steve Shives joining InfoWars.
Okay.
All right, let me see here.
Soundgarden cover.
Yeah. Little Black Hole Sun. No, here's what I want from you, Phil. I want you to say, look, the guy from Linkin Park is gone. I'm going to sing a Linkin Park song in memoriam.
Fuck that. I'd rather sing. Listen here, he is inside. One who feels where others lie.
Is that Cornell?
I walk 1,000 miles. I wish I knew the words.
Mm-hmm.
I walk 1,000 miles and dreams fucking here. 1,000 will be mine.
Yeah. Hey-o. Hey, do you hear Kid Rock's running for Senate? How about Phil Anselmo?
Yes.
Phil Anselmo for the mayor of New Orleans.
No. What the fuck is the... All right, here we go.
You sound like the No Cat. That's a meme.
Guess what?
What's up?
On fightnews.com,
Mm-hmm.
the undercard is such a bullshit item.
De La
They
Hoya.
don't even
They don't even care.
They don't even have it listed unless it's
Okay.
Milan Melindo versus, get this name,
Uh-huh.
Hecky, and he's good too. Hecky Butler.
Let me ask you about the uppercutting ability of Herv.
Let me tell you what. You don't want him to. He might go. He could send it as far up as possible, and he might be whacking
Kneecap.
you right in the grapes.
Yeah. Do you think Herv
He
had
might get some points deducted.
Dude, Herv had no body work whatsoever. He he could not. He was limited. He couldn't stick the jab. Unbelievable.
I know.
He was elusive though.
The skill set on that guy.
He had the footwork and he had a low center of gravity.
I wish I could remember. I've forgotten more about boxing than I remember.
Uh-huh.
But god damn, there was a 4'10" world champ from Ghana, Africa.
Oh.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Let me ask you, Phil. I got a random boxing question. I don't even know the name, but you might. A guy, I want to say African descent, but I think he was English, black guy, huge power, and he must have knocked out like 60 dudes. Do you know what I'm talking about? Probably 20 years ago, in that range.
What weight?
Oh, like not big guy, not a huge guy, but
Not Lennox Lewis.
no, not super famous even. I feel like he was like a.
What do you want, man? Like Chris Eubank?
Yes, that's it.
He was crazy.
Yeah, big forehead.
Chris Eubank would walk to the ring.
Yes. Right, like he was Shaka Zulu or some shit.
No, that's where Prince Nassim Hamed stole his whole shtick.
Okay.
Chris Eubank, there's you pull up Chris Eubank Sr. because there is a junior now who's doesn't even touch him. But there are highlights of like the cameraman being right in like up on the ring, and Chris Eubank will walk out, knock the dude out. Walk to the opposing corner and give him this. Like, say you're the cameraman, and the guy can see the other guy knocked out at the other end of the ring. He would go like this.
He's cutting promos. Oh my god.
It was great. It was fucking great. Chris Eubank was deadly. He had an insane.
What was he just?
Insane style.
Was it just a right hand
so
from?
Tough to beat.
Was it just a huge power? And he just like, I got a huge right hand. I'm gonna hit you with it. That's the name of this game.
In one of his most hyped up fights, and I can't remember his damn opponent's name because it was like a big deal. This guy was, talking mad shit. He was going to make Eubank fight a brawl, and he was going to drag him into a brawl, and his style was this style that was going to bring out the worst in Eubank. I swear to you, the bell rang. Chris Eubank fainted once and came over the top with a beautiful bolo right hand. It landed square on this dude's head, and it was good night, Dick. First punch thrown, done.
Pose for the camera.
Over.
Wow. Well,
Over.
speaking of the bolo.
And then look, he stands up
Mhm.
and glowers at the audience with his gloves together like this.
I love it. I love it. It's like you at your concerts.
It is actually. It's like,
Just sitting in judgment, staring at my performance in the mosh pit.
yeah, you
Envious.
got to show him who's fucking boss,
Well,
man.
you know who I want you to check out? I might send you a link. Is the highlight reel of Mr. Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, who is a UFC ex-champion. We're talking 205.
I can picture his face in my head.
Okay.
Big,
yeah, mohawk.
Yeah,
high handlebar mustache.
Village people mustache.
Yeah. He's a total hick. He's sort of, a little bit slow in the head now, but back in the day, he was a wrestler. So what he did was his wrestling, he didn't use it. He just used it to stop you from taking him down, and he just wanted to throw his overhand right. So he had a mean boxing game, and he had this like from the fucking rafters overhand right, and he was proud as hell of it. And he would walk around. You talk about a guy with his hand cocked. Oh shit! Chuck Liddell would walk around with that right hand as if it was a bazooka, like the amount of.
Look at this chewed up hand from battling my dog.
What the hell? You tug of war?
Once a night, he comes up and he's ready to rock.
He breaks skin on you. Well.
Oh yeah, he bites the living crap out of me, and he gets away with it because he's cute.
Yeah, he is. Well, you got to check this guy out because the overhand right is something to behold. I don't know if it's the momentum generated by the arc that it takes or just the sheer physics of it, but like, man, when it connects, it is like shit. People should be throwing that more often.
Liddell's got to weigh what, 260?
Yeah, he's a heavyweight now.
That's a big boy, man. I mean, dude, taking a shot from a big guy like that who knows how to throw a shot.
And he's happy to fight too. And fans get up in his face even today, and they're like, "Hey, you ain't shit." And he's more than happy to engage.
That amazes me, man. Even Vladimir Klitschko has talked about like casually going to a bar and having people like try and test him. Well, the first thing that jumps into my head is their ambulance chasers. They want the payout.
I can see that. Man, I can almost make, if you're going after a Triple G or a Canelo, and these are like small guys, they're guys that are bigger.
Oh my god!
But you might think that you have a chance because it's like, oh look, I'm looking down at you or something. But Chuck Liddell's like a light heavyweight. Like who? I don't know. I don't understand why you'd want to get up in that. But
fuck no.
But the thing is, Phil, you and I both know people need lessons to be learned. They need to be taught. And sometimes the teaching.
Threat has been detected.
The teaching requires a beating. That's a real thing.
No, it's very real, and I've experienced that firsthand. And God damn it, very similar situation. I was at a bar once, and this guy came up to me, and he said, I'd never seen this person before in my life, and he was like, and this is years and years ago, back when I used to haunt bars, which I don't do anymore. And it was a dull night. It was a boring, dull, middle of the week night, and I was just out, just trying to catch a buzz, chill out. I was standing there alone. He walked up to me and he said, my friend said he went to high school with you, and you're a pussy.
Oh.
I was like, well, nice to meet you too. All right, so I moved on. I took that one and walked away, and he kept, looking at me from across the room, glaring at me and doing this,
Eubanks look,
type shit, just that little fucking shit. And finally, I lost my cool, and I just grabbed the fucking dude around the scruff of his collar and
kissed him.
Almost. But honestly, I didn't even hit the guy. But I let go, and he fell point blank on the back of his head and knocked himself out.
What? Was he drunk?
Yes.
You pushed him down.
And I didn't even push him.
You spiked
I
him.
lifted him up, and he was a pussy.
Pussy.
And he fucking fell, and next time I saw him, he
Lawsuit.
was all apologies,
Oh.
and I think he was a tad bit straighter.
Hey,
But I do miss the good old days, because I was thinking about the other day where a friend of mine was getting fucked with, and I fucking jumped in. I threw the drink in the cat's face, and we ended up scrapping it out, and rolling around in the fucking mud and all this shit. Nobody really won. And he had caught me with a good fingernail in the eye, so I thought I had just had mud in my eye. I went to the bathroom, and I'm cleaning myself up, and there he is in the bathroom. And I said, "Good fight, man." He's like, "Was that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, hell, good fight."
Wow.
And we went and had a drink afterwards, and that was that.
That's old days.
Those days are gone, man.
That is.
Those days are gone.
You rarely would see that.
Everyone's a pussy.
Cheap shots.
Man.
It's all like, cheap shots. Hey,
call the cops.
I know. Lawsuit. Hey, we got the NFL starting up. How about them Cowboys? Or no, sorry. How about them Saints? What is going on? How bad did they take it week 1? What was the damage? I didn't see it. Are you part of the Aints? I remember the New Orleans Aints, and they'd wear bags over their heads.
Devin.
This is a sensitive spot.
Yes. I've lived through all of it. And, sir, I will have you know.
Oh, God. Oh, the flipper. Oh, shit. Well.
Since 1989.
Oh, my God.
All I have to say is
glutton for punishment.
It's going to be a long, brutal, painful, embarrassing, grotesque,
shambolic
season.
I got one word for you. They're going to get the wild card. They're going to eke it out. A bunch of teams are going to lose. They're going to rise up late, get their shit together, late season trade, Super Bowl run, playoff run, lightning in a bottle. New Orleans Saints are your Super Bowl champions.
If that happens, I will buy you.
But, I mean,
see, I'm thinking you're in Germany. It's like, do you even really need a car?
No, send me a personal servant. I want a personal assistant for a year.
A year?
Half a year. I'll haggle with you.
No, but that would be
moped. I want one of like a just decked out.
Really?
No.
I'll buy you a moped.
All right, motorcycle. We'll go tour Thailand in it.
Motorcycle? No, you'll get killed. but in Germany, the Autobahn. Zipping scooter, right? Don't take the zipping scooter on the Autobahn. Don't do that.
I get tinkles if they win the Super Bowl. Just send her over in a box, poke holes in it for air.
I will send you a personal autographed Tinkles. Hashtag Tinkles. I'll
get a New Orleans Saints tattoo. What is that? The fleur de lis?
Fleur de lis.
Oh, you
without the rolling.
So
R.
queer. Fleur de lis. Fleur de lis.
Huh?
That's the Pantera way of saying it. The fleur de lis. That's not the French way.
The New Orleans, brah.
Yeah, brah.
Fleur de lis, brah.
Quick, before you leave, I got you here. Your thoughts on PewDiePie, who's the most popular YouTuber out there, 57 million subs, dropped the N-bomb while playing a video game, just in reference to a guy he didn't like, not like.
I saw the clip.
Okay.
He called a video game player.
Yeah.
like the little guy on the game,
Right.
the N word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you personally offended? Yeah, I can see you're shaking up. It's okay, man. Talk to me.
You know,
This is a support group.
there are some words out there that triggered me, and
Hmm.
I feel like if I write like a really long, wordy, self-indulgent blog
Hmm.
and post it on my Snapchat account and then take to Twitter
Yeah, vent.
and then
You got to tell the world, Phil, that you're against it all. Let us know how great you are on the inside.
yeah, there was this. Let me clear my throat for
Yeah,
this.
hit the note. Hit the note.
Virtue,
Uh, That's not, you
virtue.
got to get a yodel on that. We got to get it up in the hills like the Scandinavians do.
Virtue. I have no falsetto. God damn it.
Hey, speaking of virtuous men, you heard about Steve Shives is in favor of punching Nazis. If it ever came down to it, and just a straight up Nazi was right in front of Shives, and he had to throw a punch, what would that punch look like? We've been discussing boxing. I don't think Shives has many rounds in the ring, but what style of punch do you think he would come with, and what kind of effect would that have on the Nazi?
You ever seen a chewed up piece of gum?
Does it look like my scrotum?
Close.
Uh-huh.
But it would be like, all right, you ready for
But
this?
his shoulders,
It might crack the internet.
dude.
But here is the Shives
Hmm.
Nazi punch.
Okay. Oh, he went vertical. Yeah, he's showing palm when you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
palm, like
So he's not the white Chris Eubanks.
that's like asking me if I'm the white Chris Eubanks.
But Shives,
No, there's only one. There's only one Chris
that's
Eubanks.
true. But so Shives, it'll be a pure arm punch and there's barely any arm there because he has no shoulder definition. There's no back muscles. There's no ass muscle. No leg. There's nothing.
I can't even hump my back that much. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think. And
scoliosis to the next level.
my dad has scoliosis, and Shives makes him look like a ramrod straight marine or something.
I would pay.
Christ.
I mean, can we not put a GoFundMe together to do a charity boxing match? Shives versus anybody. I would take the other person.
Shives versus
We can.
let me
Well,
think
we
here.
can switch up genders. Do it like Andy Kaufman used to do it. Make him the intergendered boxing champion of the SJW universe. How about like a trans person? Shives versus tranny.
Cyborg.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm trying to.
Who
No, I'm trying to imagine the amount of money I'd pay to see that.
oh.
Oh fuck. I would part with four figures for that. Easily.
Oh my god. Or Shives Rousey.
Yeah, his arm would be snapped. But yeah, Rousey's not as good of a boxer, but I mean, still.
But dude, that's a
But
all right. Shives.
uh huh.
I'm gonna think of a good one. Okay,
Hmm.
just for the all right, 3 rounds with big,
Yeah.
big 20, not 16, but like
Okay.
20-ounce gloves to where they look like two pillows
Right.
tied to the end of the hands.
Cushions.
Shives versus Carl Sargon of Akkad.
Yeah. You know, I think Shives.
Because of the height difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shives would have the foot speed advantage. I think he's more nimble. I think he's got the hand speed. Carl?
Sargon can climb a wall.
He can, but it took him an hour.
But have you ever seen Shives do anything
Yeah,
with?
his upper body strength is not there, but he probably has reach on Sargon. I'm thinking.
But I'm not thinking Sargon's head movements were the
I
fuck
don't think
either.
Sargon has one round of cardio in him. I mean,
Well, he climbed a wall.
that's not cardio intensive though. I mean,
It could, considering all right versus Shives' workout ethic.
yeah, no, I'm taking Sargon in that fight, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, I don't know if you give me odds. I don't know. The big gloves might change it up. I'd prefer a sumo match between the two. Just,
oh god, oh who pushes who out of the circle? Oh,
I mean,
I've watched it in Japan. It's very
because you
interesting.
know what it
The
is.
attitude they get when they throw
Yeah.
salt.
Oh, it's beautiful. And the stomping, all that. Yeah, it's silverbacks, but they're yellow.
I
It's
love it.
yellowback gorillas. Um,
They are. Yeah,
the,
I wouldn't want to mess with them.
here's the thing.
They
Online,
make great offensive linemen, huh?
well, basically the same thing. Um, but here's the thing. Online,
True.
we debate ideas mentally, intellectually all the time. We've had enough of it. We're tired of it. Let's throw down. Let's get physical. Like Jane Fonda said. Was it Jane Fonda?
No,
No, I'm thinking
it
of
was
Let's Get Physical.
Olivia
There it is.
Newton-John.
Different blonde, same era. Yep, she's hot.
Olivia Newton-John.
Prediction on the ring girl at the Canelo Triple G fight. C cup or D cup?
Which is bigger?
D.
Isn't it pathetic trying to have a? All right.
She might have a triple D's for Triple G.
It's for Triple G. Give her all right. Triple D's for Triple G.
That's the funny thing about the one thing I noticed in the Connor fight was their ring girls wear the fuck me heels. They wear these stripper heels when they walk around the cage.
Yeah, but doesn't that make the ass poke out?
It does, but it's just a little bit tacky. In the UFC, they look more like fitness models, although they have been getting more and more plastic and siliconed out.
All right, here's one for you. In pornography, what do you think about chicks getting banged still wearing high heels?
I prefer that to flats, but yeah, it's a bit weird.
I go barefoot, just fuck. I like
regular fuck.
Yeah.
Well, here's one thing that I'm not gonna poo-poo is they don't remove the underwear fully. So you just
yank to the side.
To the side. I don't have time to pull your panties down.
Oh yeah.
I'm all about from A to B as the crow fucks. I got to get right in immediately.
Yeah, panties pulled to the side. I'm all about it.
Hashtag stone the crow. I think that's what that's. All right. Well, Phil, this is a pleasure, and we tried to make it brief. It was not brief. We will talk. Let's circle back after the fight, and let's have a chit chat, shall we?
Piss yes. At Devin Tracy, you are the best. Atheism is unstoppable. You, sir, are unstoppable. And keep us entertained like I know you will, baby.
I'm going to do my best, and my love to your girlfriend, to your dogs, to your everything. It's all good out there. And good luck on your tour, and stay healthy, my man.
I will, brother. I will. And hey, let's check back in after that fight. We can do it on tour. We can do it backstage. We can get some personalities in.
And I'll interview some of your groupies. No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
Figuring my old lady is the tour manager, you can talk to her if you'd like.
That's excellent, man.
Fine with me.
I learned a lot. I soaked up a lot of knowledge, and I do appreciate that. And yeah, man, I'll chat with you soon.
You got it, big brother. Later.
And that is a man that I like to call Phil Anselmo. I met him once in '97. It was interesting. Good job. That was fun. And I will now stop streaming this. Bye.